Have you ever found yourself repeating the same steps every day, as if you were just existing and not really living? You wake up, grab your phone, get out of bed, drag yourself to work or school, go through the routine on autopilot, and before you know it, another day is gone. It feels like you're just passing through time, not truly living it. This happens to more people than you might think. Most people live on autopilot, following patterns programmed over the years, without ever stopping to question if it all makes sense. And the worst part? They don't even notice. They think it's normal. But the truth is that living on autopilot is the fastest way to a life without purpose, without energy, and without growth. The human brain loves creating routines. It does this to save energy. When you repeat an action many times, the brain turns it into a habit. And that's great, when the habits are good. But the problem starts when you find yourself trapped in behaviors that keep you stagnant. You wake up and go straight to your phone. Eat anything. Get irritated by traffic. Do your tasks on minimum mode. And at night, you distract yourself with social media until you fall asleep. The next day, it all repeats. Days turn into weeks. Weeks into months. And suddenly, another year is gone. Then comes that uncomfortable question. Where did your life go? Living on autopilot doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It simply means you've stopped doing something right. It means you stopped paying attention to yourself. You stopped making conscious choices. And that's dangerous. Because if you don't choose consciously, you'll end up living based on other people's choices. You know that feeling of emptiness, always being tired, unmotivated, like nothing is ever good enough? That often comes from this disconnection from the present. When you don't live the now consciously, everything feels dull, pointless. You start looking for meaning in distractions, addictions, excesses. But nothing truly fills you. The first step to break this cycle is realizing you're in it. And the fact that you're listening right now already shows that a part of you wants to change, wants to wake up, wants to take control back. But for that, you need more than willpower. You need attention. Attention to what you feel, what you do, what you repeat every day. Stop for a moment and reflect. What patterns have you been repeating daily that lead you nowhere? What habits did you inherit, copy, or simply accept as normal, but actually hold you back? It could be the habit of complaining, the habit of delaying, the habit of distracting yourself with meaningless things, the habit of self-sabotage. To break this cycle, you don't need to change everything at once. You just need to change your state of presence. When you live with presence, you make better choices. You eat better, relate better, work better. You begin to act with intention. And that changes everything. A practical way to regain control of your life is to create conscious pauses throughout your day. It might sound simple, but it has huge power. 3 times a day, pause for 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Ask yourself, am I in control right now? Am I acting consciously or just reacting to what's happening? This brings you back to the present moment, disconnects you from autopilot, and little by little, you start returning to yourself. Another powerful exercise is to start your day with a clear question. What do I want to build today? Not what others want, not what they expect from you, but what you truly want to experience. Doing this gives direction to your day, and those with direction have power. Maybe you're wondering, but what if I don't know what I want? What if everything feels confusing? That's okay. Clarity doesn't always come right away, but it comes with movement. The more you connect with your actions, the more you understand what makes sense for you. The problem is that most people just think, but don't act. And overthinking without action is another way of living on autopilot, because you get stuck in the world of ideas without ever touching reality. Here's a truth that might hurt, but it can also set you free. No one is going to live your life for you. No one will take the reins for you. No one will care about your dreams as much as you should. So, if you don't wake up now, you'll keep living a script that you didn't even write. And you know what the big difference is between those who have an extraordinary life and those who live on the surface? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's awareness. Awareness of who you are, and where you want to go. Those with awareness make intentional choices. And intentional choices change destinies. A good practice is to create small rituals. For example, when you wake up, don't touch your phone for the first 20 minutes. Use that time for yourself. It could be to write down your thoughts, take a walk, or listen to something inspiring. This already changes the way your brain faces the rest of the day. It's a small gesture, but it's a symbol that you're in charge. And don't be fooled. Living on autopilot is also a choice. It's just an unconscious one. When you start observing yourself, you realize that many of your limitations aren't real. They're just mental programming, inherited habits, automatic repetitions. And by noticing that, you gain freedom. Freedom to choose differently, to act differently, to be different. If you want a starting point, begin today by doing something totally consciously. Something simple. It could be taking a shower while paying attention to every movement, eating while noticing the flavor of each bite, walking while looking around instead of at your phone. These small gestures bring you back to real life. And when you come back, you realize there was much more beauty than you imagined. Throughout the day, every time you catch yourself on autopilot, say to yourself, "I choose to come back." That phrase has power. It gives you control again. And it's that control, exercised in the small things, that builds a grand life. If you've made it this far, you've already taken an important step. It shows you're ready to stop living in draft mode and start living in author mode. The author of your story. And honestly, if you don't write your own story, someone else will write it for you. And it won't always be a good script. To sum up everything we talked about, living on autopilot is like walking down a road with no destination, just following signs that others put up. You wake up, do what you have to do, distract yourself, sleep, and repeat. But when you start observing yourself, making conscious pauses, asking honest questions about what you're living, the game starts to change. You go from being a passenger to the driver of your own life. Awareness is the key. You don't need to change the world or make big internal revolutions overnight. You just need to be present. And that starts with small daily decisions. Small actions that, when added up, change everything. When you change how you live the now, you completely change what you build for your future. So here's a practical exercise to apply today. Take a sheet of paper and draw 2 columns. In one, write, autopilot habits. In the other, conscious actions. Throughout your day, note the moments when you acted on autopilot. It could be scrolling your feed without noticing, reacting impulsively, delaying an important task. Then, beside it, write down what you could have done more consciously. This simple exercise creates a real map of your behavior and helps you see invisible patterns. Practice this for 3 straight days. In the end, read what you wrote and realize, you're no longer the same. Just by paying attention, you begin to change. You start getting out of autopilot. You start truly living. And it's in that process that your best version begins to emerge. And before we finish, a quick reminder. If this content helped you in any way, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Here, you'll always find reflections that pull you out of autopilot and push you toward your best self.